let's get started and talk a little bit about what's happening with the mortgage rates. I'm going to share my screen here. Brent, tell us what's going on with the 30-year mortgage. It's dropping a little bit.
Yeah, very recently, the last week and a half, 2 weeks, interest rates have started to come back down. They kind of peaked out about 2 weeks ago, and it's been really volatile. It's trying to find, the bond goes down, as rates go up. It's an inverse relationship. And so we saw the bottom of the bond market probably about 2 weeks ago. We had a double bottom, it's called. So it hits a level of support and bounced off of that. Since then, and we've had a trend up, but it's not time to forget about it and go home. We have to watch it every day. Like today, the mortgage bond dipped quite a bit, like about 70 basis points. So, just to give you an idea what that would do, a $200,000 loan might be $1,000 more in closing costs today as opposed to what it was this morning. So it's still volatile. We have down days and up days, and we try to lock on the best days. But certainly the last week and a half and 2 weeks has been really encouraging. As the talk of recession comes up, bad news is good news for interest rates. And so when things start to slow down, the Fed hikes have done what they've pretty much were designed to do, is to take out excess demand and get inflation under control. That's the idea anyway. And so hopefully we'll start to see that curbed as well. We'll see what oil does. That's a big part of that. But as far as the excess demand out there, we should see the inflation start to curb a little bit.
Right. Great. And we have a celebrity on our channel tonight. Look at that.
Oh, look at that.
This is why I have a YouTube channel right here. Oh. This woman. So if you're in Georgia or South Carolina, you want to reach out to Karen Carr, because she will definitely, her and her team will help you with buying and selling real estate.
She's amazing. Great channel.
She's an awesome gal. I call her my YouTube Mrs. Carr YouTube teacher.
Right. She's excellent. Just great information, and what a lovely personality. She just comes across so well.
She's awesome. I love her.
Really
Thanks, Karen, for joining us. It's awesome. I feel honored to have Karen Carr on my channel tonight.
You're kind of a big deal, Lee.
Yeah, it's a big deal, man. I mean, come on. Man, So, all right. So ask your questions. We'll answer them. Also, if you're on, and tell us where you're coming from. We'd like to know that too. Like to know where everybody's coming in from. So let's jump into our next slide here. So credit scores stop counting medical debt. Big news right there, Brent.
Yeah, that's going to help people with their scores. A lot of times we'll see pull a credit report and we'll see $15, $20, there were deductibles that weren't paid. You get the invoice or you get the letter in the mail. Hey, this isn't the bill, type of thing. And it's like, and then, it slips through the cracks. It happens all the time. And so we're constantly getting those negotiated off the credit report. So this will help streamline that a little bit. A lot of times they're just ticky-tack small collections, and they're just oversights. And so I think they recognize that error, and because some people are really getting hurt by them, and they need to be fully removed, really to remove that credit history, that ding, because a collection is a collection. So I think this will help get a lot of people's scores back up to where they should be.
Yeah, medical bills are a real problem for people, especially if people get sick, and so it really hurts them. And like you said, they slip through the cracks very, very easily, because, you get all the bills that say this isn't a bill, and you throw it away and it is a bill. So, and this is great too, Brent, talking about how getting rid of the medical debt. And then last year they added where you could use your rent and your electrical bill, your phone bill, and things like that, and add all that to your credit. So, for people getting going, first time buyers, especially, because I think we're going to have some opportunities for them to get back into some FHA loans here pretty soon. So yeah, talk a little bit about that since we're on this subject.
Yeah, it's wonderful. The they're making a lot of changes, which is great. I mean, the Boost program you're referring to is Experian, and so for first time home buyer, somebody that has a thin credit file is how we refer to it, just not a lot of lines of credit. It's a great way. They go through your bank statements and they see basically how many times, if you have 12 full months of a steady payment going out, it recognizes that as some type of installment loan, and so it reports it to your credit report, and helps you get a score. Sometimes it's unscorable because there's not enough credit there, and so it's a great way to build a credit file. We do something called non-traditional credit, which is very similar. So if you're paying a gym membership or something like that, a lot of times we can do that manually, but this is a great way to have it done automatically, and it's done through Experian, which is a streamlined process, very easy to do. You can call them up and get it taken care of, and a lot of times we're seeing 10-15 points increases too, because it's adding good credit. It only looks at good credit, so it's only taking payments that show as paid for that 12 months. It's a really good thing.
Right. Really good question right here. Joseph asked, do you advise getting an independent pre-drywall inspection for homes built, decent builder like Mattamy? No, you don't need to worry about that. You're going, Port St. Lucie has a really good building department. They're going through everything as the home is being built. Mattamy Homes builds a really, really good home. I'm actually going to put out a video here. You'll have it by next week at the latest on which builders are doing a great job and which builders I believe you should stay away from, because there are some out there that are, doing a terrible job, and there's some are doing an okay job. And then there's Mattamy Homes, which I think, do a really, really good job. What I suggest for new construction and everybody buying it, you're going to get a 1-year wall-to-wall warranty on the house. Now, Mattamy, actually, they're going to do your pre-walkthrough, and they'll fix anything that you find with them in the beginning. And then at the end of that 1 year, they're going to do another walkthrough with you. So what I advise is about the 8th month, call your agent, or, you can reach out to us and we'll turn you on to a great inspector. Or if you're in another part of the country, call an agent that you trust there and have them turn you on to an inspector. But get a full house inspection, top to bottom. I mean, roof, everything, because let's say here in Florida, if you have a tile roof, you have a broken tile, they have to fix that. So, because it's under the 1 year warranty. So also I've seen homes where they're missing a little bit of insulation in the ceiling, and you didn't catch that on the walkthrough, because obviously you're not crawling up in the roof, especially right now too, because there are labor shortages right now. So they're putting the houses up and they're doing their very best, especially Mattamy Homes. Coulter does a great job, and so does Taylor Morrison. So, but NGL does a good job too. So I'm not going to give them that. I just think that they've oversold their property. But Minto, they're a good builder out in Westlake. They do a good job. But I tell people, all my clients, to definitely 8th, 9th month, get a full house inspection. That way, everything that's gone wrong with the house, and you can cover that before your warranty is up. But Mattamy is doing another walkthrough before your warranty is up, which I think is a really neat thing they've added this year. So hope that answers your question there. And we will move on. All right. So forecast changed. So inventory is definitely on the rise. Originally, last year, they forecasted a 3% increase in inventory. Now they're forecasting a 15% increase in inventory. We're seeing inventory rise across the board, not to the point that it's a buyer's market or even thing close, but at least there's more inventory out there to choose from, which is definitely decreasing the amount of bidding wars. This came out by chief economist Mark Fleming at First American. He says we should start to see less competition, fewer bidding wars, therefore less upward price pressure. In fact, a simple analysis shows that 1 month increase in the month's supply results in a 3% decline in an annualized house price growth. And our preliminary house price index is already showing moderation in house prices in April. So prices are slowing down across the board, and there is more inventory across the board in the United States. But we are seeing bidding wars still in Florida and Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast.
Keep that in perspective, though.
Right.
It was 20% appreciation last year, right?
Right.
And and so now it's 17. So I don't want to, you want to see that normalized, right?
Right. Well, I mean, and in Palm Beach County, we were sitting at 3 to 5% pre-COVID, and in St. Lucie County, we were 10%. We were about 5% in Martin County. So offers received are down, offers asking are down, sales are down, and inventory is up. But we're also in the summer months right now, so people are vacationing. So this could change very quickly. Don't you agree, Brent?
I do. I think you can change very quickly, but there's definitely a marked slowdown, which is, like I say, it's welcome on this side because, it's just a healthier market. You see things, you don't want to see things run to the point where, there's a correction. You want to see nice, healthy growth and, rates that are, yet the affordability is there, so I think it starts to come into balance here soon, which is a good thing.
Yeah. So this is an interesting slide. Lawrence Young with NAR actually thinks that we've turned to levels seen in 2019. So I don't think so. I don't think we're there yet. Not in Florida.
Not here. Right. It may be nationally, there's some talk about some areas slowing down, quite a bit, but it's not happening here yet. That's for sure.
Right. Yes, sir. Devasta is a good builder. Actually, when Devasta was Devasta and they poured the concrete, the walls, a solid poured concrete wall, I bought pre-construction here in Jupiter. So Pulte owns Devasta right now. I think Pulte's a good builder too. Sorry to leave them out. They are a good builder. They're building a good home, and Devasta's building a nice home too. So, it's their home prices are high. I mean, especially in the communities that that are have clubhouses. So, yeah, Joseph, Devasta is a good builder. You can count on him.
Great reputation here.
Yeah, no problem, man. All right. So this is an interesting slide. I've found this on Fortune magazine, but it came from CoreLogic. It talks about the odds of regional home prices dropping over the coming year. So you can see the dark is very low, the light is low, then we go to purple, medium, the pink is high, and the red is very high. Look at where it's high or very high. And then look at where it is very low. And you can see how Florida is broken up. So this is South Florida, let's say, Port St. Lucie to Miami. And this is Naples on up, right, to the Tampa area. And then Orlando, you can see Jacksonville, the Panhandle. So, Florida's, as Florida goes, we're in Texas. We're seeing people moving here. Matter of fact, things kind of changed. I was watching the market news today. They're saying Florida is the #1 state now for people to move to, and Texas is #2.
Yeah, it's all migration pattern, really. I mean, it's supply and demand, and I think that's why the prices have held firm here. In our development, we've seen $60,000-$70,000 in the last 6 months in appreciation. It's not slowing down at all. So
right. Well, we put in an offer. We went and looked at home Boca and Del Rey with clients over the weekend, and we didn't even bother putting an offer in one of the houses because it already had well, I found out 8 offers on it by the end of the day in an open house. Now, granted, it was in a nice little family community, but the house had been totally rehabbed. But definitely sold well over the appraisal. I can assure you of that. I mean, the only way to get that deal done would have been no appraisal contingency. So we have another house that they're interested in that we don't have that problem with, but the market's still Palm Beach County, and Port St. Lucie are still seeing bidding wars on homes that don't need any work. People want to move in and not have to do anything.
Yeah, and real estate is so localized, right? I mean, just you have to know right down to the very neighborhood, really, as far as demand. There's neighborhoods that just nothing ever comes on the market, and those are going to go for a premium,
Right. And looking here at, this is percentage of homes bought by investors. Look what's going on in Florida.
Yeah.
This is South Florida. So these are all the hedge funds.
Yep.
They're just eating up everything.
They're buying up everything, and that's the smart money. They know where future appreciation is. They see migration patterns, and frankly, this is we have the DSCR loans now. This is like a it's a loan for investors, basically that looks at with 20% down and a good solid credit score. If the property carries the PITI, the principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, so if the rent covers the mortgage, if you will, that's a done deal. They're not going to dig into tax returns and all that. So it's a loan that's really attractive for those areas that we can still buy, where it's cheaper to buy than to rent. And so that's really a big reason I think we're seeing the investors flock to Florida.
And this is interesting because if you look at this as the northern Florida, the Jacksonville area, and then the South Florida, that's where all the industry is moving in, because these are the ports, right? Right. And then this is where all the hedge funds are coming in, investment companies, all of your tech companies moving in, Bitcoin companies going into Miami, all the funds that handle Bitcoin. The mayor in Miami's taking Bitcoin for his or let's just call it crypto. He's taking that as his salary. So it's interesting to see that these two areas where we're seeing the most investors are the two areas of Florida where we're having the most industry move into. So tells you, if you're thinking, hey, when's the market going to slow down? When are prices going to slow down? When's a good time to buy? The smart money's buying now.
Right. Positive cash flows, so you're making money while the appreciation's happening, and of course the tax benefits, of course, with real estate. And I can't give tax advice, but talk to your accountant.
Right. And something that we're seeing, a lot of the HOAs are we have a condo up we just listed, and I'm doing the video on it right now. It's totally rehabbed. It's in Green Acres, so it's in an area where it would be a great investment property where you could rent it. Well, the HOA is now making it where you cannot rent it for at least a year if you buy it, because they want to keep the funds out of it. They want to keep the investors out. So you have to live there for a year, and I'm seeing more and more of that through the homeowners associations right now, because of this problem right here. Because this isn't just this isn't just individual investors. This is funds. Blackstone is buying tons of stuff.
Right. And on the condo certs for condos versus townhomes, condos, they have to pass a condo cert to get to be warrantable to sell to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. So for full approval, one half of the homes have to be half or more have to be owner occupied primary residence, and so they really want to protect the ability to finance those developments as well. So they that's why they throw in that requirement. Not required in townhome or HOAs that way, but the condominiums it is.
Right. Yeah. So let's get into a little bit of the market here. So these numbers come from these numbers are coming from May. We'll have the June numbers coming out soon. We'll be able to work on those, but I just want to let buyers and sellers, because One of the things I'm seeing in the market right now, and I'm also having one of the things I'm seeing in the market right now, and also a question I'm getting from sellers is, wanting to list their homes over market value. So this is going to give you a good idea if you're selling your home. Also, it's going to give you an understanding of why you're seeing the price drops if you're buying right now. So April in Port St. Lucie, we had 407 homes sell. May that dropped a little bit to 371. 99 homes were sold under asking, which was 27%. 83% of those homes were sold at asking. But if you look here, 189 of them were sold over asking. So these are homes right here that were overpriced. So they had to drop their price to sell. That is happening now. So if you're a seller and you're getting into the market to sell your home, you want to come into the market with your agent putting you at market value. Because if you overprice your house, you're going to end up dropping the price. And you're also not going to get that multiple offer that's going to drive this 51% of the homes right here up over the asking price. It's going to you're going to end up dropping your price. So, the average time you can see 14 days on the market in May. So 2021, we're 13 days in the market in 2022. So we're pretty much at the same rate. We're sitting at about a month and a half worth of inventory right now in Port St. Lucie. So if we move on to,
and to note, that's extremely fast as far as days on the
right.
market.
Oh, absolutely.
Historically, 4 to 6 months is kind of normal nationally. So that's flying off the shelves still.
Right. Oh, I'm sorry. I messed up here. Okay. So I want to move on. So this is Martin County. You're seeing the same exact thing. Obviously, there's less sales in Martin County right now. So we're at 174 homes sold in April. We actually increased those sales in May at 196. But again, 84 homes were sold under asking, right? So 43%, 47 were sold at asking, and 65 were sold over asking. So again, when you're seeing these price drops right now in the market, it's because they've overpriced their home. So the average days on the market in Martin County, we're getting close to a month on the market. So on the average, so in May 2021, a year from now, we were at 25 days. Now we're at 20 days. So the market in there is starting to, we're getting a little bit. I think they're about 2 months worth of inventory in Martin County right now. So that would be Stewart, Jensen Beach, Hope Sound. That's your cities there. And then Palm Beach County as a whole, right? We had 923 homes sold under asking, 483 homes sold at asking, and 979 homes sold for over asking. Again, putting your home at market value, or maybe even a little lower than market value, just a tad, making it kind of a deal. We have a house out in the farms that was listed, and he listed the home a little under market value. I mean, he listed it about 960, I think it was. All the offers came in at $1 million. It's a $1 million home. It was 960 or 980. I got to look at it, but he listed a little under. Same thing happened. We just sold a condo in Port St. Lucie. Same thing. She listed it under market value a little bit. Multiple offers came in. We were at 30,000 over list price to get that condo. So it was right in tradition. So, the strategy used to be, when it's a buyer's market, and is to list your house high, right? So you can negotiate down and get more money. now that we have so few inventory, then what we're looking to do now is list our home at market value or maybe a little under and get more traffic so you can get that higher price and, you know, start working the house up because of demand.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, I've talked to people where they wanted to just, hey, locals especially, these prices are crazy. If you're coming from somewhere else, you're coming from New York or California, it's very affordable. But, for the locals, it's like, wow, I'm going to see what I can get for my house. So I've heard that conversation. We put it on the market just to see, but then they look around, where are they going to go?
Right.
And if they want to stay in Florida, they're going to be, paying more somewhere else. So, yeah. So
let's
a little
look
bit of that going
here.
on.
All right. Yes, April and May, but we're going to be able to look at June in the next week or two and see what those numbers look like. But I will figure, just being boots on the ground out here selling real estate, we haven't, we're not crazy running up and down the road like we were, but we're steady still selling homes. So I would say that we're probably going to be looking at about the same numbers right now in June as we saw in April and May. So we'll take a look at that. But when you're looking at the new construction, traffic has slowed there. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But if someone throws a house on the market and it's nice, it's selling, and it's selling quick. I mean, we're not sitting there holding on to real estate more than a week or two.
Mm-hmm.
What's the best place in tradition buy for amenities? Well, gosh, Riverland, obviously. I mean, it's just unbelievable. But again, they're still on that lottery. So I think that may change by the end of this year. We'll start seeing communities like Westlake and Riverland start to get more normal because the traffic slowing down, but they've oversold those communities, both of them, and so you're seeing, you're still on waiting list there. As far as Del Webb goes, great amenities. It's a great community. Homes available. They're about 11 to 12 months out. They have some homes, quick move-ins. One thing I will tell you, Mattamy Homes, as far as 55 and over goes, their Tulare, they're building right now a small little clubhouse with 2 pools. That should be done pretty soon, I would say by the end of the year. So you'll have a little clubhouse and everything there, and a pool. So if you want to save some money and get into Tulare, then you will definitely have that opportunity to have a pool, because the prices in Tulare right now tend to be a little bit better by.
Bedrooms and square footage in Tulare, Lee, roughly what?
Gosh,
Size
they go up. I mean, they go up
several
to
models.
3,200 square. I mean, they think they have a over 3,000 square foot home in there. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're in the 5s and 6s, around 2,200 square foot, 2
Mm-hmm.
bedrooms, 3 bedrooms with a den. Beautiful homes, really nice. Taxes. Yep, you're right. We got a question on taxes right here. Taxes, 2.2% in Port St. Lucie. But let me show you guys something real quick. Let me bump out of this. Hold on. I have to get out of my PowerPoint. Let me see if I can pull this up.
And the taxes are different in St. Lucie as opposed to Palm
They're
Beach County, Martin
2.2 in tradition, about 2% in Port St. Lucie, but also and then but because in tradition, all of these new communities, you're going to have a CDD bond, so that's going to get put into your taxes every single year until that's paid off. Some are 10 years, some are 30 years. It's just something you're going to need to ask about.
And that bond is to take care of the cost of infrastructure is what it is, right? That's why it's paid off, because you're building, all the utilities out, streets, all that. Everything's brand new.
So I'm just going to give this a little.
Yeah, we looked at a home in California 20 years ago, and for a $500,000 home was $8,000 plus a year, and then for another development right next door was $16,000. Was double for the same reason. They call it Melrose.
So let's look at this taxes thing and cover this real quick, because I'm going to share my screen again here. All right, so I just received this. This is Alton, so this is right out my door. This is in Palm Beach County. This is a Coulter community. So here's a 3,600 square foot home for $1.6 million. Now, when I tell you the backyard, you can put a hot tub back there. I mean, these houses are not just zero lot line. I'm a little heavy right now. I'd have to turn sideways to walk through the side of them. So, you're looking at, so you're paying 2.2%. But you're not getting, you're paying 2%, right around 2% for taxes, but you're buying this same home for $680,000 right now in Emory. Mm-hmm. So 680,000 on the resale, maybe, so I mean, you're talking about a lot of home. Mm-hmm. I mean, even the new stuff that that's being built by Taylor Morrison right outside of Esplanade. I mean, those homes are 3,600 square foot. They're $1 million. You're still saving and you're still saving almost $700,000 as things go up.
And the bond goes away at some point too.
Right. You're right. There's no CDD in Riverland. That they bought it completely out, and they're not charging a CDD in Riverland.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So
look at the whole picture, right?
Yeah. I mean, you got to look at the whole picture.
And with new homes, your insurance is cheaper. There's just, you have to look at the whole picture,
Okay. So, but again, you've got that lottery going on in Riverland. But I mean, if you're looking for a community where everything's in your backyard and it's you want to drive your golf cart all over the place, man, that place is gonna, I mean, it's amazing in there. If you like pickleball and tennis and activities, and I mean, it's great. But you will pay a little bit more for the homes in there also. So the home prices have really gone up. What's the home you're working on right now with the VA loan? How much is that he bought that over a year ago?
Right.
For what money?
It was like 640, I want to say, something like that. 670. Yeah.
And what's the appraisal on that?
Over 800.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the resales in there are really high, and the builders pushing, because they're doing like what Coulter did in PGA Verano. They're pushing the prices up. Same thing with right here, what Coulter did in Alton. They're pushing the prices up with everything else.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So let's talk a little bit about what's coming that is going to be great for first-time buyers or buyers who missed out on those $300,000, $400,000 homes. So this is Central Park. This is coming. This is Coulter. It's Taylor Morrison, There's a few other builders in there. I'd stick with Coulter and Taylor Morrison, but the homes are going to start in the 300s in Central Park. That's going to be a great community coming. And then also Mattamy has Cadence coming, which is going to be starting in the 300s again. Great community for first-time buyers or for, you know, people looking to get into lower priced homes, which we haven't had that for a while. So these communities will be opening up in the fall. They're going to both be really nice communities, and it's going to create some opportunity for FHA buyers to get back into the market and get a nice home. You know, some will be starter houses, some will be homes that are you know, a little nicer. So you're going to have a, you know, a good mix of homes in Central Park. Cadence, that's going to be entry-level homes. So
it's good to see this because, you know, millennials are getting out there and they're, you know, the Echo baby boomers are out there looking at homes. And I think it's great to help them get their starter home, get in the process of building equity in a future, you know, building some real net worth. It's good to see this coming online.
Right. It's a good quote. Let's cover this. Tradition 10 miles inland, cheaper insurance, but you have 30-minute drive to the beach. Exactly. You're 20 to 30 minutes from Jensen Beach, 20, 30 minutes from Fort Pierce Beach, 45 minutes from Jupiter Beach. But you're saving a bunch of money on the homes, and you have a lot of opportunity with new construction, which you're not going to have that in Palm Beach County and everything they're building new construction in Martin County seems to be these townhome communities, and you know, there's stick them in the middle of places like next to the airport. The new one just went in, that Pulte's building. Now we do have Newfield coming soon, so that's going to be in Martin County. So taxes in Martin County are, like he's saying here, or she's saying here, Martin County taxes are under 1%. So it's some of the lowest taxes in Florida. And that they're building, Mattamy Homes is building a whole new town called Newfield. So that's going to be a great opportunity. And if you're looking for something in Jupiter and you want land, because that's one thing I'm getting a lot of. How can I get land? Well, they're acre lots. It's a homeowners association, Bridgewater, and these are nice homes, but they're starting at $2 million. So you're going to pay to get land.
Certainly a premium.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So what else, Brent?
Well, that's about all I have, Lee. That's good.
Well, I got
a lot of stuff. Yeah.
We don't have any more questions. We can wrap it up tonight. I appreciate everyone joining us tonight. Again, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please do. We do this every single Wednesday. And then we also have the tips and tours videos along with our Wednesday night with Brent and Lee. So thanks a lot for joining us. We, again, really appreciate it. And we'll see you next Wednesday.